We have been hearing that the AI will be replacing writers, and it's also true that the large number of writers, copywriters, content writers has been replaced by AI. AI agents, AI tools, and such machinery. But why they have been replaced? Let's ask the first question. At larger extent, those works were like quite mundane, that it works on the repetition basis, it works on the data basis. But here I am talking about writing in its truest form, writing where art and creativity combines together, where writers and authors emotions, their emptiness, their loneliness, their experiences, and many more things comes together and form a word. From the word to a sentence, then sentence to a paragraph, and from the paragraph it goes further to complete a novel, complete a book. So what is writing means to me and maybe to you? For me, writing is a kind of intimacy where I am completely there at the tip of my pen, at the tip of my pen and on the page. Nothing else in between those page and the pen. It's a place where my devotion, my emptiness, my desires, my experiences, silences, everything's come at a single piece where I play with the words, where I draw, where I create designs from those words and those sentences. That's make an writing important. That's make an art of writing different from the AI. Let's move into the segment that I consider and I have written upon those things. What writing truly is. Writing is a combination of every senses a humans have. It's a solitude, it's a meditation, and above all, it's an act of love between writer, their imagination, and the world they are building. It's a space where we find ourselves and merge ourselves, our all senses aligned at one place. In a fiction writing, if we move to the truest form of writing, when an author writes, they do not simply think, they feel it. They draw from their memory, emotions, observation, and imagination all at once. When they write, there is no external references at larger extent. There are no data collected, and they are not mucking up the data to write their fictional stories, their fictional writings. They are not consulting the data, they are consulting themselves. That's what makes the writing and the writer different from the AI and the artificial intelligence and the different tools. AI, at, if we look at the larger picture, it scans millions of the data, millions and billions of words, sentences, books, and the content. Then it's right according to those things. It cannot sit at the tip of your pen. It cannot lie on your pages. A writer and author can sit at the tip of your pen and they can also lie on the pages. Then they create an art which we call a writing, a book, a novel, a story. AI Of course, it could write, but it will not have a solitude. It cannot fill the meditative space. It cannot love what it creates. This is not a flaw that a future technology will fix. It is a boundary between human and the mechanical and writing and real writing. So, what's the threat and the opportunity in the AI? Of course, AI will write. It will write number of content, large number of content. It could make number of sentences and large number of paragraph. But when it comes to the emotions of human heart and human soul, it will not reach to the depth. Then humans will be writing. Of course, in between the AI and the writing, there is chances that a surface level writing will be replaced. A good quantity and the good quality of writing will be available. When the let's take an example, case when camera is invented. At that point of the time, artist and the painter thought that now their job is finished. But let's see what's the scenario now. Every hands have a camera. Every individual have large number of photos. Still, importance and the existence of art is still relevant, and the its relevant is far important than from the previous times. So, in truest form, when writers writes, their page is their personal space. It's a solitude. It's a meditation, an act of love. And these all these things will not be replaced by AI. It's a presence of human emotions, human soul, and every senses of human being. So I think yes, AI will replace some writers, but those writers could be turning into great writers. They can experience, they can transform themselves into a great writers. So there is probability and there is possibility. So at current time we cannot say that the AI will be doing this thing and writers will be doing this, but certainly writers and the authors presence their emotions, their feelings, their words and sentences will prevail AI in coming days and the coming future. And I also believe that the art is a human act. Creativity is completely human. And when both live in human hands, in the hands that soul the pain, in the mind that dreams the story, in the hearts that feel every words, they are stunningly, irreplaceably beautiful. Machines and tools have their place, of course they will, and they are. They can assist, they can amplify, they can help a writer reach a further they could alone possibly not be able to reach. But they must never become the source. The source is the human being, that's the present feeling alive. That is where writing belongs, that is where it must stay. Thank you very much.